My name is Danita Wahpoosewyan, and my spirit names are Lightning Rock Woman, She Who Calls For, White Horse with Wings, and Danita Dove. I'm half Cree, half Soto. I come from CJF-CMA Indigenous First Nation, which is on Treaty 4, but I reside in Regina, Saskatchewan. It's important because it's creating safe spaces for people living with HIV that we can come and share openly about our status and not to be judged. Because it's important because we have a serious stigma problem across Canada when people who are HIV positive, we face a lot of stigma in our communities, and the more spaces that we have that we could openly share, it's easier for us to be open and to share about our journey. And for me, when I get to share, it's helping me on my healing journey. And so basically, I'm a peer support person in my community. Um, I've also went into being a health provider now, not a service user. I'm a health provider now. I believe that culture is really, for me, it really helping me on my journey because it helped me to find my identity where I came from. There was one point in my life where I was ashamed to be Indigenous, and I was not raised. I was raised in a foster care system, and so with that, I was raised to not to like the color of my skin or my name. Since discovering, not discovering the culture, but being introduced to the culture, I've had many opportunities to sit with elders and going on different learning from the elders and medicine people of how to live a good life. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm using the teachings from our ancestors and applying it to my own life, because I really believe that once a person finds out who they are, especially if they're Indigenous, they will experience a lot of, for me, it was like spiritual awakenings in my life. And it also gave me, I guess, the wanting to continue with my life. Before it was like I did not like the way I didn't like who I was, living with HIV. I thought I was so ashamed of it. Today it's a different story. I've accepted who I am and what I have, and it's taken me a while, but today I really believe that I am where I'm supposed to be. I do believe that I have my purpose in life, and I try my best to do my best and also to empower other, like my peers and in my community, to help them on their healing journey. Well, in the beginning, it was like, for me, it was the stigma, and I wasn't allowed to kiss my grandchildren, for example, until my family got educated. And so there was a lot of education that was needed, and I'm grateful and fortunate enough that I was right away after my diagnosis, a year after my diagnosis, I was hired at a AIDS program, South Saskatchewan, and I started learning about HIV, and then I started educating my family and my community. What I have been doing for the past 10 years is I started going, well, because I was living a high risk lifestyle, I started taking care of myself by going into treatments. I've completed 4 treatment centers, and the 4th one was my final, and that was in November of 2014. And it's been that long since I've last injected IV drugs, and it's helped me. You're not alone, that there's other people living with HIV. You just have to find them, find your supports, because there is supports out there for you. And to not to be ashamed of having HIV, because it is just a chronic, manageable disease that we have, and it's not a death sentence no more. We can live very long and healthy lives today, because HIV doesn't define us. We're very we're brothers, sisters, aunties. You know, we're part of a family, part of a community. Um, you have a place in society. You're not a throwaway. Never lose hope. Continue with your life journey. You are loved by all of creation.